sharks and fish in the water. They live underwater, they have floats in the water.
更杀一个下。前面来了来了，大死。
I'm just about to do a talk. I might just get you to grab a seat if that's okay. Thank you. Hi everyone, welcome to Sea Life Melbourne. My name's Jordan. Welcome to the Ocean Predators Tour. There's a massive fish swimming this way. This is Mr. G. Usually start my talks a different way, but he barely ever comes down here, so we're just going to detour for a little moment. Mr. G is a little brat. He's not a little brat, he's a big brat. He's beautiful though. We've had him for a few years. He was actually brought to us when he was unwell. He's one of the few animals in the aquarium who's from the wild, so he didn't know. Guys, he didn't know he was going to get fed every single day. All the other sharks in here, they know they're going to get fed, so they don't bother eating any of the other animals. Mr. G didn't know this, and that's probably why he ate 2 of our sharks the first day he was here. Okay? Give him a little bit of lighties. He's a weird little dude. Or big dude, massive. He's about 400 kilograms. He is a Queensland groper. In the wild, they can grow to be the size of a Mini Cooper, which is huge. They've got these mouths that act like vacuums. They suck in all of the food that they want to eat. And when he first came here, I think that he was just asserting dominance, but he did eat 2 of our reef sharks. Hasn't eaten any sharks since. And he's definitely king of this oceanarium. He's a pretty beautiful animal. We've got loads of cool sharks in here. We've got massive smooth stingrays. They're the biggest stingrays in the world. This is Bob. Bob is a sandbar whaler shark. He's coming over to say hello. He's a pretty special shark. And I'll talk about that more in a tick. I just want to do a little data. Hands up if you love sharks.
Shark, see.
Beautiful. Keep your hands up if you're kind of scared of sharks. You can love them and be scared of them at the same time. You have a very complicated relationship with sharks. Bob has his own fears as well. Bob is terrified of bubbles. Scared of them. Thinks they're going to kill him. He's a real weirdo. In fact, he's just swimming around in this circle because he knows that there's going to be divers pretty soon over in that end of the water. Divers bring bubbles. Bubbles mean death. So he stays in here. We first thought that it was like a sandbar whaler thing that no one had discovered, but we called some other aquariums and they confirmed that no, it was just a Bob thing, just Bob. This gal here is Charlie. She's very confusing. She looks like a shark and she also looks like a ray. She is a sawfish though, so S-A-W, sawfish. But she is either a shark or a ray. Hands up if you reckon she's a shark. Anyone think she's a shark? Beautiful. Anyone think she's a ray? Great. The rays are correct. She is a ray. It's hard to tell sometimes. They're super closely related, sharks and rays. They're kind of like cousins. But sharks have got their gills on the side, just like this reef shark, this bamboo, and Bob is showing us now. Rays have got their gills underneath. You can kind of see it, it's a bit blurry, but you can kind of see it on that smooth stingray swimming past there. Their mouth and gills are underneath them. So if their mouth and gills are underneath, they're a ray. So you can keep that in mind when you go through the aquarium and you're searching and it's a little bit confusing. I'm going to go back to Bob real quick. Where is he? There he is. You might notice, as you can see now, he's got a couple of cuts on his nose. And that's because when he was a baby, he actually ran into this glass. Didn't realise that the glass stopped. It was pretty funny. It's like when a toddler walks into a closed glass door, but we didn't want that to happen again. So we set up a current, and you can kind of see it now pumping down all this glass here. That current means that whenever any of the sharks swim up to the glass, they get a little tingle in their nose, and they change directions. You'll notice that Bob and these grey reef sharks, they come right up, but they never actually hit the glass because they know to change directions before they get to it. Sharks have got super sensitive noses. It's how they navigate their way through the water. And that is why you've been told to punch a shark in the nose if they come up to you. Sounds pretty wild. Sounds like the last thing you'd be thinking about if a shark was coming up to you in the wild. But if you give it a decent shove, I mean, if Bob's going to change directions because of a little tingle, I think he'll change directions if you give him a shove. Also, they're not interested in having a fight. They're not interested in fighting with you because they're masters of conserving energy. There's about 170 sharks in Australia. Only 3 of them are known to harm humans. If they come up to you in the wild, they're probably a bit curious and might be sussing out a new predator. Maybe they've never seen a human before. That's when you give them a shove on the nose, let them know that you're not interested in hanging out. Sharks can't actually chew, so they want to be able to swallow their food whole. We are way too big for them to swallow whole. There are some sharks who can break up food if they need to, but our biggest and scariest shark in here, if he bites into anything, half his teeth fall out. So it's not really worth it for him. Mitchell was hanging around here before. He's a grey nurse shark, and he's the last grey nurse shark in Victoria. They're extinct in Victoria, and the main reason for that is because he's got a real freaky looking face. He's got these teeth that stick out, they look like forks. His mouth is always open, he's always swimming. He's about 3.2 meters long, and he weighs about 200 kilograms. But 85% of the time, he's asleep. He's having a nap. And even when he's awake, his awake speed is about 1.5 times his sleep speed. We only feed him once a week. We feed him one fish. That fish is this big. And that will sustain the biggest shark in this aquarium for an entire week. At the moment, he's getting fed maybe 2 fish because he's swimming pretty low. There he is right now, actually, as big as the devil. He usually swims up top here, but he's swimming really low because it is breeding season for grey nurse sharks. And he is, to put it nicely, desperate for a date. He'd love to go on a date with a lady shark. Unfortunately, he's 35 and he's never had a girlfriend. And he tells everybody that it's because he's the last grey nurse shark in Victoria, but that guy's got a lot of red flags about him, so I'm not really interested in his excuses. No, Mitchell is a really beautiful animal. Actually, I think he might be a whale now. It's a miracle. And the reason his teeth stick out like that is because he would prefer to just swim into a school of fish with his mouth open, and that way, hopefully, 1 or 2 fish will get caught on his teeth. He's a lazy genius. He's figured it out. Another cool animal that we have in here are these spear-toothed sharks that are swimming past now. We are actually the only aquarium in the world with spear-toothed sharks. The main reason for that is because we didn't even know that they existed until 1984, which may seem like ages ago for some people in the crowd, but it was not. It was pretty recent. And we don't know much about them. We've paired up with the CSIRO so that we can do a little bit of research with them. Right now, what we know is that they can live in salty and fresh water, so they're similar to bull sharks in that sense. They do have a similar makeup to bull sharks, but they don't want to eat humans like bull sharks do, so that's great, because we have divers in here all the time. These are smooth stingrays, which are pretty cool. They're the biggest stingrays in the world. Probably heard of the manta ray. Manta rays don't have barbs, so we only call them stingrays if they have barbs. So you notice when I was talking about Charlie, I called her a ray because she doesn't have a barb. We only call them stingrays if they have that barb. Now, the smooth stingrays, their barb's about this big, and if it gets you in the wrong spot, it can be fatal. But there's actually only been 2 recorded deaths by stingrays since 1980. It is so rare that they ever use that barb or that it's fatal. They don't want to use it unless they absolutely have to, because once they use it, they lose it, and it takes about a year to grow back fully, and they're super vulnerable about it. So they only ever want to use it in a life or death situation. What they usually do is they lift up their tail and curl it like a scorpion tail almost. And they give you a warning. That way you got enough time to get out of there, they don't have to use their barb, you're both happy. Most of the time people getting barbed are divers who are jumping off piers or off boats, and they land right on top of a smooth stingray because they haven't checked where they're going. So another good idea to have a look at what water you're jumping into as well. The shame about getting barbed with those guys is those barbs are serrated, so they're designed to stay in. So you don't want to pull it back out the other way because you will quadruple the damage. The best thing that you can do is keep switching between hot and cold water and call an ambulance. But I don't think any of us here are going to get barbed by a stingray. If you are swimming in waters where there are little stingrays or smaller stingrays that can hide in the sand, what you want to do is do the stingray shuffle. That way you're not actually going to step on one. If you give them a shove on the side, they don't mind. They'll swim out of the way. It's when you come over on top that they break out. If you're in the ocean and there's smooth stingrays swimming around, or a whole load of them, a whole group of stingrays is called a fever. That's a fun fact. So if there's a fever of of stingrays, oh my god, Mitchell, it's terrifying. If there's a fair number of stingrays, you can swim underneath them. That way you're submitting.